What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Fitness Channel with a Twist. Yes, once again, this is a Fitness Channel with a Twist. People, remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Once I reach that 10,000 goal mark of subs, I will start doing lives. And when you hit that like button, make sure you hit the hype button as well. That way we could get this channel to be pushed out there. The faster it gets pushed out there, the faster I get to the 10,000, baby. And you guys already know, once I start doing lives, everybody's welcome to pull up. The funny bunnies, the trollos, the mashicas, and the YouTube warriors. You know what I say? Always welcome, man. Just come with respect. That's all I ask, you know. So anyways, people, like I said, this is a Fitness Channel with a Twist. Today's twist is Mr. Sonny from the Streets Ain't Loyal, okay? He spoke on, well, he actually dropped the video. Actually, it's a live. I usually tap into his lives real quick, but due to the time that it is, the time frame, it's my program, it's pretty close to program shutdown. So I just, you know, hang out in the yarda for a little while, you know, and in his chat, I should say, you know, and I just sit in the audience and peep game. That's all. I don't really comment too much. I'll reply to people that reply to me, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to sit there and speak on anybody. That's just not what I do. Kind of like a certain individual that, man, I could have sworn that fool was laid to rest, but for some reason, keep on hearing that my name's in his mouth. Pobrecito. So sorry for that guy. Crazy. But anyways, that's here nor there, people. Like I said, this is a Fitness Channel with a Twist. And today I want to just give you guys a quick little breakdown on what my program has to offer. I have a 3-month program, a 6-month program, and a 1-year program. I will always highly recommend just to sign up for the 3-month program. And if you decide to take it to that next level, I will prorate the cost as if you purchase the extended program from day one. My 3-month program consists of losing up to 30 pounds of fat and building muscle at the same time. Okay, guaranteed to work. You just got to be that person, that student that comes inside of my classroom to sit down, have a seat, and listen and learn. Okay, there ain't really nothing to it but to do it. You know what I'm saying? You can't talk about it, just got to be about it. And now if you decide to take it to the 6-month program, that's where I get you dialed in. By that time, you will be able to master everything that has to do with the nutrition and workouts. And that's what I mean by the dialed in part. And once you get dialed in, it becomes a lifestyle that is very sustainable, okay? Because during the first part of the program, the first phase, you know what I mean, you're going to go through some changes and we make some adjustments. You know, you got to start to learn to adapt to a new lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Because you may find a little discomfort, but eventually that discomfort goes away because we want you to enjoy the journey, on your fitness journey, because that's where a lot of people tend to derail, man. You know, I'm going to keep it real with you because of the discomfort. They don't know how to deal with it. You know, even though every day in life is sometimes can be a discomfort, you know what I mean? Having to go to work with people that you don't enjoy working with. But for those of you that do struggle with that problem, you know what I mean? Just remember, at the end of the day, you don't have to go home with them people. You know what I mean? You go home to the people that you love, and don't bring the problems that you carry from work to home. It's not cool. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, there's an individual out there that has my name in his mouth. He suffers with a lot of personal development. Let's just put it that way. Pobrecito. I don't want to say his name, man. It's crazy. Well, anyways, like I said, I have 3 different programs, and then the 1-year program is the Ripped and Fit program. Okay, with that program right there in itself, you will get ripped and fit. Now that program right there is to see what you are made of. Okay, there's people that follow through with it, and there's some people that choose not to, because that is a point where you will test your willpower, your discipline, and your skills in life. Okay, it's not for everybody. It is what it is. I've taken it to that limit, to that level, and it's a challenge. You know what I mean? You become your biggest competitor, but your surroundings, your regular lifestyle surroundings that surround you can be uncomfortable, because when you're taking it to that level, your whole lifestyle will change. And just because your lifestyle changes you can't expect everyone else to follow through with what you're doing. So that's like one of the hardest parts, especially if you live in a household that has family members that tend to have certain nutritional habits and eat a certain way. There's going to be a lot of temptation there. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, there's 3 different programs, man. Whichever one you choose to sign up for, guaranteed, you're going to get some results that you could brag about. You're going to be that person that walks the beach without a t-shirt. You're not going to be that person that's invited to a pool party and that jumps in the swimming pool with their t-shirt on. And then when they jump out, they're trying to pull the shirt away from their body, because then it reveals every curve on them. And it's very unappealing. Straight up, man. Come on now. We've all been there, done that. And I'm not saying that to fat shame anybody. You know, I'm just trying to bring light to people. Hey, there's a better way. If this old cat right here can do it, so can you. There's no excuse. Well, anyways, people, now with that being said, hit the like and subscribe button. Put your notification bell and all. Make sure you hit the hype button. Let's get this channel up to 10,000 subscribers. Once we reach the 10,000 mark, I will start doing lives. People on my lives, everyone is welcome to pull up. If you want to get started in your fitness journey, hit me up. It's High Power Fitness, high_power_fitness_, or you could email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. You know what I mean? Leave me a message stating something about fitness or weight loss, and we will hop on the horn and we will get you dialed in. We will get you started on that program to success. Now, with that being said, the streets ain't loyal. Mr. Sonny, my boy. Obviously, he has an individual, supposedly. Now, I'm not co-signing this. This is just the word on the curb, and I'm using Gunner's word, the word on the curb. You know what I mean? That a certain individual is crashing out and bringing his name up, you know. Like I said, man, I've met Sonny. Sonny's a very humble person. I've seen him from when he first started. I've seen all the shit that he went through. People, you know, he'd be at the bus stop catching the bus to go to school, and people throw shit at him. That was pretty chicken shit, you know what I mean? But not one time did that man ever lose his cool, other than when he spoke up in on Spank's behalf, you know, for whatever reason why he did that. That's his thing, you know what I'm saying? That's his homie, and the homie got that relationship, so it is what it is. I would never contest anything or what people do on here, because at the end of the day, everyone has to make their bed and lay in it, you know what I'm saying? And but anyways, his title on his live was "These Fools Are Crashing Out." So like I said, man, when I first met Sonny, I actually met Sonny. It was at an event with my homeboy, Incredible Javier. He had a basketball one-on-one competition against an individual that goes by the Love Machine. And when I had met him, that's where I had met him at. I met the Love Machine, and then Sonny. You know what I'm saying? That was a few years back, maybe 2-3 years, something like that. But probably like about 3 years ago. You know, I'm just guesstimating. You know what I mean? I really don't keep track of time anymore, because what I learned from doing that, man, it just speeds it up, really. You know, I'm trying to figure out how to slow that shit down, because just time just goes, man. And I'm going to tell you something real quick, man. I do ramble on a lot. Wasted time, man, I'm going to tell you right now that you cannot get back, is wasting energy on negative people. You know, that's why I stay clear of that certain individual. I won't mention his name no more, you know what I mean? Because that's what he wants. You know what, as a matter of fact, that's enough. That's enough said. But anyways, back to Sonny, you know what I mean? I listen to their lives, you know what I mean? It's very entertaining. I don't see anything going on, no feuding, no any people talking out the side of their necks, or all they're doing is just speaking their mind. You know, at the end of the day, everybody's entitled to voice their opinion, you know. And for some reason, every time, you know, Mr. Dubs, his name surfaces. I believe Mr. Dubs supposedly, they say, crashed out. And I hate using that word, man, because crashing out to me means going to sleep. That Dubs came at him, fell at one of his lives, and people always contest, well, why in the fuck does Dubs remove his lives? And you know, all bullshit aside, you're not going to get monetized regardless, you know what I mean? So I don't see the purpose of removing them, you know what I mean? Or, you know, they may be copyrighted because they're playing music. That's probably what it is, so I'm going to stand corrected on that. I know Sonny plays a lot of music and he doesn't remove his. But at the end of the day, to each his own, and only they know why they do what they do. You know, maybe they said some things that they regret saying, and maybe that's why they do it. Okay. I know a lot of people say some things about Dubs, and paperwork has surfaced. There's no denying that. It is what it is. Okay. Like I've said before, and I'm not fucking defending him. He made his bed. Whoever he crossed, he's gonna have to deal with them at one point in time, or hopefully maybe he might not ever deal with them. I really don't care. It's none of my business. I've already said my piece on, like, if we were to cross paths, it is what it is. You know what I mean? That's just it's part of politics. You know, but I really don't see myself doing any more time ever again. Why? Because I won't even jaywalk no more, people. You know what I mean? Because I know what it's like to get snatched up and lose everything, you know. So this is to bring me to like where Dubs, he does a lot of crashing out, and people, you know, yeah, he's losing audience, but he still has his strong supporters too as well. And I can tell you right now, from my point of view, this is me just voicing my opinion. Dubs is working in reverse. You got to keep in mind, he spent most of his life behind them walls. He's been introduced to a new world out here. He's getting very comfortable. He's gotten comfortable. I've seen from his day ones to where he's at today. Like I said, I don't participate in the nighttime boogie rendezvous that they have, the drinking, because I just don't, I can't relate to that stuff anymore. And I just won't, because that will open up a place inside of me that will invite that lifestyle back into me. So I'm not going to set myself up for failure, is basically what I don't and I won't do. But anyways, yes, I've seen the change in Dubs. I've seen his whole behavior, and it's to be expected. I know a lot of people expect more out of him because he's got all this skletcha, but now you got to keep in mind, people, he's working in reverse. For us people that had them lifer installment plans, such as myself, we used to make a lot of fucking mistakes out here, straight up. And what did we do when we landed behind them walls? We were begging for forgiveness from our people, from our loved ones, saying that we would never do it again, get whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, you know what I'm saying? And then when we get out, we're good for a cool minute, and we fall right back into circuit. So Dubs, where he's at right now, what he's doing, he's going in reverse. He's going the opposite way, okay? He's not going to see where he's at fault. And the reason is because he just came from behind them walls. He's out here in the real world. He's going to end up going through what we all went through as civilians and lifer installment people. You know, like I said, I had 3 terms, and every time, man, I would tell my wife, you know, I'm going to change. And every time I got out, yeah, I thought I would outsmart the law and stay out a little bit longer, but eventually it catches up to you. So all bullshit aside, yeah, they say Dubs locks himself in a room and never comes out, and he door dashes everything. From what I see, everybody does that shit now. That's just a fucking straight lazy way of living. Why he does it, who knows why he does it, you know what I mean? Maybe he feels more comfortable that way. It might even be more beneficial for him, really, because for him to come out here in public and carry that behavior that is put on him, that what they're accusing him of behind drinking, and I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat shit for anybody, because I know what drinking does to an individual. It will make you come out of character. And for an individual that had that life sentence that was down for decades, if he were to come out here in public, in the real world, and apply that behavior, they're gonna snatch his ass up and throw him right back where he came from. Then the real problems will occur. Then the things will arise that were said about him, and we will find out what kind of target he really had on his back. Okay, I'm not wishing that upon him or anybody. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people, oh, well, you're supporting him, get whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. No, I support a cause that anybody pushes if they're pushing a good cause. I will tune into an individual's channel if he's speaking knowledge, speaking facts, if he's teaching me something. But when it has to do to the criminality world, I don't tune into that shit. There ain't nothing that they could fucking say out here that was going to educate me any more than what I already know. I hold back on a lot of stuff. I won't speak on a lot of stuff. Why? Because I'm not going to put myself in harm's way. I'm comfortable with the bed that I lay in, and I'm going to leave it made that way. You know, so at the end of the day, the crash outs, is it true? If there's alcohol involved, more than likely it is. Why this stuff occurs, and I'm speculating on this because Sonny had mentioned too that he has a lot of people that support him saying that he's doing a good job. Now, let me give you my point of view on this, Mr. Sonny. You know, low key, them individuals that are fucking rooting for him in his audience right there, they may be those trolls that are the instigators that are trying to pump him up for failure. That may be their strategy of war. A lot of people fail to see that. Just because they're rooting in your motherfucking corner really means that they got your back. I know. Trust and believe. I know. You see that battle mark? You guys, I'm sure you guys are all curious about that. Just a hairline away from hitting my jugular. You know, so for those of you that believe Dubs is doing what he does, I'm going to tell you the reason why I believe he does what he does. He's sitting where he's at. And once the alcohol, you know, when they first start doing their little drinking, everything's all fine and dandy. It's a nice little party. But once you start getting intoxicated and you start getting yourself caught up in those comments, that alcohol is going to let you speak your mind. Now, you're going to speak freely, and more than likely, that's why those videos are being removed. Because why take a chance for it to get in the wrong person's hands? Even though I know there's a lot of people out here that screen record or something like that, it's crazy. It trips me out the way these people are here on social media nowadays. I guess that's the new way of banging or something. But anyways, man, so yeah, I could see the crash out. I call it snapping or just getting defensive, because anytime alcohol or drugs is involved, you know, your mind gets impaired and you will start doing things that you wouldn't do when you're sober. And I say this from a person that's been sober for, I think I've been going on my sobriety for quite some time now, man. Over a decade for sure. But I see things clearly now for what they really are. I don't see them in a haze or a fog anymore. Why? Because I'm not going to set myself up for failure to land myself behind them walls again. I mean, you could break me off with a 5-year sentence. Now, that would probably end up being like a lifetime sentence for me. Too old for this shit, man. But, yeah. I just wanted to elaborate a little bit on that, man, because the crashing out, the snappers here on social media really does get real. And those people that are really, that you believe are supporting an individual saying, oh, you're doing a good job, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Sometimes there may be a couple wolves there in sheep's clothing. You know what I'm saying? They're rooting you on because they want to pump you up because they're hoping that you fail. Straight up. And I see this because, like I said, there's a couple channels that I will tune into, and I'll sit there in the audience and I'll see individuals change their whole personality over here trying to gain trust with the person that's running that channel. As a matter of fact, my son this morning, and I'm not saying my real son, this is an individual that would always wolf shit to me. And this morning I find a comment on my thing saying that Blue Torta don't want none of that. Doesn't want no, what did he say? Blue Torta doesn't want nothing with you, old man. Now he's in my corner. Weird shit, huh? You know what I'm saying? These people are either have fucking split personalities, or they look at us as being lame to the game or something. You know what I mean? Just because I don't speak on things don't mean that I don't know things. You know, I'm very reserved, man. I'll speak on certain things to a limit. I'll speak on stuff that I'm okay with. Let's just put it that way. I'm not going to let anybody try to pull me out of character and speak on things that shouldn't be spoken on. I'll leave that for the other cats that are out here, the weak ass folks that do that. And this right here, man, this is to an individual. I'm not going to say your name, Mr. Bumping Your Gums. Well, during our time, my boy, where I come from, bumping your gums means wolfing shit. However you want to take it, hey, take it whichever way you want. You know where I'm from, my boy. I'm not going to say I know what you were saying, you know what I mean? But for some reason, why people put shit out there where they're from here, get whoopty whoop on social media, makes me raise flags about people. You know what I mean? Why would you want to set yourself up like that? It's crazy, man. You co-signing shit. You're actually helping out authorities. Think about it. Oh, man, you claim that you're 70 years young? Then you should be a little bit wiser about that. But anyways, people, with that being said, I'm going to bring this video to an end. If you want to get started on your fitness journey, hit me up. It's highpowerfitness, high_power_fitness_, or you could email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button. 10,000 subscribers, I will start going live. And remember to also hit that hype button. Now, with that being said, get up and get yours.